Gotta go downtown to the courthouse, and I need $30 cash. So I went to the ATM, and typically, you know what's going to happen. It doesn't work. They got it there, but it doesn't work. And I already knew that would probably happen. And it's just typical stuff, you know. And then as I went around the corner, I had this big transfer truck get in front of me, slow me down. It's a matrix, people. It's a matrix. It is a matrix. There's resistance. Every time you try to stretch out and do something beyond the average or the status quo, there's always resistance. Always. So you just keep hitting it. Just keep hitting it. Eventually there's going to be a conception and then a birthing. Resistance. Everything you're doing is piercing through the veil. Everything. Piercing through, going through, you know, the veil was rent, right? When Jesus went to the cross, he was right here. The veil was over here. It was rent. The two things were connected. That's quantum physics. The veil was rent. So you're in the fabric of space-time, and every moment you're renting the veil. You're teleporting. You're crossing over. You're crossing to your next destiny or destination. The word travel means travail. So out here I'm traveling. Inside I'm traveling. Out here, I'm travailing in birth pains. In here, I'm travailing in birth pains. It's the same thing. You're pushing through. There's going to be resistance. There's going to be resistance. There's always resistance. If you're going to have a conception, there's going to be some resistance. There's going to be some friction. And so a lot of people give up. They come across that goal and they give up. They come across the resistance to that goal or that destiny or that destination, they give up. If you want to break something, you got to keep hitting it. Boom, 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 boom. After enough hits, it's going to break. You're going to break through. You're going to have a breakthrough. A lot of people probably say, what is he talking about? Creation code. All you have to do is keep hitting it. You'll eventually have a break. It'll all click one day. It's going to click eventually. I didn't know where I was going. When God revealed it, he said, it's right in front of you. And I thought, what does that mean? So I kept going. I kept knocking and seeking and asking. Every object is an object lesson. All you do is say, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? One of the biggest things that I learned was the guide wire. The guide wire is holding that telephone pole up, right? Holding it upright. What holds you upright? GUI, graphical user interface. What's allowing you to be upright? GUIDE, the guide wire. Who's the guide? The Holy Spirit. Your graphical user interface to the spirit realm, your interface to the spirit realm is the Holy Spirit. It's the Spirit. GUIDE. DE is the Holy Spirit. Somebody asked me one time, she said, what does that mean? DE means all from. Yeah, the Holy Spirit's from Jesus. Came down here from Jesus. E is spirit, D is door, the spiritual door. That lady does not know how to drive at all. The spiritual door is the Holy Spirit. There has to be something projecting from the spirit realm for you to be able to grasp it, right? Your arm projects out from your body, so you have to have something projecting out to grab hold of it. It's a projection. It's a projection. This is a pocket universe. And the flesh mind only sees the flesh. The spirit mind can see the spirit, the spiritual truths. That's why as you grow more and more and more, as you grow, other people are not growing and you're separating just because you're growing. It's kind of like the baby's growing in the womb, right? So eventually the baby's going to separate from the mom because it's grown so much it has to separate. And that's the same thing. So you grow in the machine, the MA.chine, the baby making machine or the copy machine. So the copy machine, you're growing and growing and growing. Eventually you're going to have to separate from the mom. Eventually there's going to be a separation because you can no longer be inside the ma because you've grown too much. There has to be a birthing. The church, if the church would get a hold of the holographic truth, there's going to be a rapture out of this place. There's going to be a portal out of this place. And the sad part is, it's probably right in front of us. Paul said he knew how to depart. Some people debate that, but it's almost like he knew how to depart this place. He said, but it's better for me to stay here. He said, it's better for me to stay here and benefit you all than to leave, If he went to the third heaven, he saw some things. And he saw some stuff because he'll say one verse. He'll speak one word or one verse, and it explains everything. Apostle Paul can say one thing or write one thing, and it explains everything. And that's going back to source. When you hit source code, here's a good example. I said to somebody at work, I said, you heard that saying? I said, do you understand how as things change, they stay the same? He said, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So I walked away and started meditating on what he said. Yeah. So it's the cog. The more the cogs turn, the faster and faster and the faster they turn. And the more you see the repeat faster and faster, and the exponential knowledge will increase as the day approaches. Everything's going to increase. So as you see it approaching faster and faster and faster, you step back, you see the whole. You actually see it was all the same. As you grow spiritually faster and faster and faster, you step back and you realize it's all the same. The more things change, the more they stay the same. You chew your food up into pieces. You eat some greens, you eat something that's red, something that's yellow, something that's different colors, purple, and it all comes out the end in the end the same color. It was different when you chewed it, but the more you chew it into parts, the cogs of the system, the more it becomes the same. Comes out the end the same color.